Tell me why I just recorded a 30-minute video and I'm scrapping the entire thing and we're starting from scratch. But hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube. Today we are going to talk about my engagement story and I'm really excited to sit here and share it with you guys in full because when I used to have the podcast, this is something I would do there and I miss it and I miss chatting with you guys. And yeah, I just thought that we could get into it a little bit more today because surprisingly, I didn't handle this on social media the way I thought I maybe would have. Like old Alyssa maybe would have thought it would be like a little bit more plotted and planned out and posed and, you know, the whole nine. And it just wasn't that way at all. And it's so funny how when these things actually happen in your life, what intuitively feels right to you is maybe not what you thought would feel intuitive. And for me, that was kind of keeping things private for a while. As you guys know, Sean and I relocated from Los Angeles to Rhode Island. We have been in our house for about 2 months now, I want to say, and we just absolutely love it, love it, love it, love it. I did field some questions from you guys on social media, so I'm going to use those as like a general baseline for the talking points for this video, but also the questions you guys asked are things I plan to share anyway. So if I miss anything, I will reference those, and thank you for submitting those. But otherwise, I'm just going to get on with the story. Just a little background. I had mentioned on my Instagram, I remember I wrote a Substack about moving with someone without having a ring on your finger, and that was something that was like kind of a big deal to me because I don't know, I just guess I never, my like Italian Catholic values really impact my morals and the way I move in relationships, and I don't think I even realized that until these things started coming up and we were discussing relocating together. And it was always kind of a given I was going to relocate with Sean because we knew we were like each other's future. But I had a weird like internal dilemma where I was like, but I've always been told my whole life, like, don't move in with a man until you got a ring on that finger. And we were already living together at that point. And as traditional as I was raised, I also am a modern woman and I make my own decisions, which is why I was living with him before being engaged to begin with. When relocating was kind of in the picture, I was like, that's a bigger thing. So Sean and I have really good communication and we're very open and honest with each other, and we both kind of knew where we stood with that. He knew that that was important to me, and he kept saying, like, you just have to trust that I am going to respect you and I'm not like dragging you along. And I knew that, you know, I knew that, but it's nice to hear that, although talk is cheap, actions speak louder than words. So I was like, he could say this all he wants until that ring is on my finger. I'm not, you know, come on. We kind of both knew like it was happening, but we didn't want to talk about it so definitely either because he didn't want to give away the surprise and I didn't want that either. I wanted to still be surprised. And the way it all happened, I could genuinely say I was surprised, like genuinely. So we moved, and once we moved, I kind of was like, when's it happening? Because I kind of think he's gonna do it soon after we move, but I can't say for certain. And then like the longer it kept going, I was like, it's not happening. Like, I don't think it's gonna happen. But obviously I can't bring it up to him, and then I don't want to keep bothering other people in my life with it. So I'm just internally like, I wonder when this is gonna happen. And then I remember the Friday before he proposed, I remember mentally surrendering in my own head, being like, look, Alyssa, you can't control things and it's going to happen. He tells you to trust him and you do trust him, and you just have to live in the moment and just enjoy every moment. And when it happens, and it's going to be wonderful and beautiful, and it's not happening anytime soon. And you just need to like push that thought aside and stop worrying about things you can't control. So it was like so weird because the night before it happened, I weirdly had this internal peace where I was like, you just have to trust the universe and stop trying to control things. And so I woke up that next morning, Saturday morning, and I was like genuinely so happy. Like, I turned over a new leaf and I was just thankful, and I felt so much gratitude. I was like, look at this house, look at this man, look at our dog, look at this beautiful life that we've created. I feel so lucky. And I kept saying to Sean that morning in bed, ironically, I just kept being like, I can't explain it. I'm just so happy and I'm so full of gratitude, and I really like, I love you so much. I love our life. I'm so thrilled. And it's like, it's so weird when you surrender how things happen. I had no idea, obviously, he was going to propose to me that day. And we decided to go get breakfast in town, which to me seemed really impromptu. Like nothing seemed planned or forced. I think I even suggested getting breakfast. We went, we had the most delicious breakfast at this cute little retro diner in town. And even at breakfast, I kept echoing the same sentiment. I was like, this is the best meal, and I love our town, and I love our life, and I love you, and I'm so happy. Like, I was just truly at peace and so happy that day. And it's so weird because I didn't even realize how much better my day was about to get. And we walk home, Sean's acting fine, like literally cool as a cucumber. I like wanted to go to the beach because it was a nice day, and Sean was like, let's just finish unpacking the kitchen. And I was like, no, like I don't want to unpack the kitchen. It's 85 degrees out. Let's go to the beach. I'm the type to put my foot down, you know? So I was like, no. And he was like, Alyssa, we have 2 more boxes and then we're done with the kitchen. Let's please just get it done. I was like, oh, whatever, like fine. So I'm in the bathroom because my stomach was hurting from the greasy diner food. I'm taking like 15 minutes, legitimately. At this point, he set his camera up, actually up here, like leaning down. I had no idea, obviously. And it's funny because it's on video of him being like, what's taking so long? And I'm like, my stomach hurts, leave me alone. Like it goes to show, I literally had no idea. So Sean's like, okay, I'm gonna go grab the 2 boxes from the basement and carry them up. I'm like, sure. He's like, you get the little one, I'll get the big one. I'm like, okay. I start cutting open the little one. And as I open the little one, there is a like wooden box inside of it that's engraved. And I'm like looking at it being like, you know, so many things go through your mind. For obviously I'm like, am I getting proposed to? Then I'm like, is this his and I've just never seen it? Is this mine and I don't remember? Did a brand give this to me? Like what is this? And then I'm like, no, it's gotta be for me. It's like engraved. But then I can't, it says like 8,100 something on it, and I can't make out what that means. I know that we started dating in August, so I'm like, is the 8 because of the August? But how would that make sense in the terms of like 8,000? Like, so I'm just like processing, and I notice Sean's just like standing there, like, and I'm like, he wants me to open this. So like I open it, and as I open it, there's a 2-page handwritten note rolled up with a bow. So then I know what's happening. I was literally standing right there on the island, and Sean's like standing here, and I'm like, whew. So I open it and I'm reading it, and I'm just like crying as I read this letter. And like Sean said, he wanted to write everything down because he was like, I knew if I were to speak it to you, I would never be able to get it out or remember everything I wanted to say. And like, I wanted it to be like written, which is really special because now when I go back and read it, it's like those words are the most beautiful words I've ever read in my life. They're so gorgeous. And I'm just like sobbing as I read this letter, and it talks about what's written on the box, which is that 8,000 number. And it talks about how we've made so many sacrifices for each other in the short time that we've like been dating. We've driven cross country twice. We've done long distance. We've done so many things. And that was the total amount of miles that we've driven to be together. And it was saying how, I could cry just thinking about it. It said something about like, we've driven so much for each other, and like somehow it's just the beginning. And it was really sweet. I actually could cry. I don't want to cry. So he got down onto one knee and he asked me to marry him. I blacked out at that point. This is why I highly recommend getting proposed to in private, because I can't imagine if I was in public or around a lot of people, because it was hard to process with just the 2 of us in the comfort of our home. Like, it's a very overwhelming moment, and I just kept cursing, and he kept being like, why do you keep saying what the fuck? And I was like, because what the fuck is happening? Like, I could not stop cursing. I was out of control. I was so confused. And I remember I kept like, he put my ring on my finger, and I remember just being like, I can't make eye contact with this. And he was like, wait, what? And I was like, I can't process this because I'm trying to process this. Like, I'm trying to process that you asked me to marry you and not, I can't even look at what comes with that right now. Like, I was shook. And obviously I love the ring, it's so gorgeous. And we sat on the floor, like in the living room, crying, and I just was like, I have so many questions. Like, when did you talk to my dad? When did you get the ring? Like, what? Where did you get the ring? Who did you know, just all of those things. Then we FaceTimed our parents and our siblings and our best friends, and we just were over the moon. And then I was like, let's go get drunk. And I don't even like to drink. I'm like, let's go. We went to a beach bar. We got Aperol Spritz. And actually, so funny, someone who worked at the restaurant recognized me from TikTok, and I like hadn't told anyone other than my family that I was engaged. And I so badly wanted to be like, I'm engaged. But I was like hiding my ring. I was like, no, literally no one knows. And then we went to the beach and we got Italian ice, and we came home and we just like sat in silence with our phones down all day. And we were just truly in absolute bliss. Like, I remember Sean saying, he was like, this is, I think, the happiest I've ever been in my life. And I was like, I couldn't relate more. Like, I'm blissfully happy and present and in the moment. And there was no like photographer or splashy announcement or anything, and it was just so personal, which is why I think it even took me over a month to come on here and talk about it, because I just realized in that moment, you kind of realize what's important to you. And I was like, what's important to me is protecting this and enjoying this with us, and not this, you know. As much as I love you guys and want to share everything, I just was so aware of the fact that I didn't need to explain anything to anyone, because I knew and he knew, and we were just so happy, and it was really beautiful. Now into the specifics. So, where did he get the ring? How did he know what I wanted? Did we go ring shopping together? When did he ask my dad? All of that. We did not go ring shopping together. Sean is an old school guy, hence the no social media, and he thought that it took the romance out of it. How sweet is that? And just like the specialness out of it. So I had gone to a jeweler myself just to confirm that I definitely wanted an oval, because I always thought I wanted an oval, but I was really turned off by how popular they'd become, even though I'd wanted one for like 10-15 years. But then when I went to the jewelry store and tried to convince myself I wanted a different shape that was less popular, the truth is I did not like anything as much as on my hand. I was pretty open to getting pear, and this was like a year ago, so it was before the big pear boom. So ironically, I went with like the popular ring, but now the pear is popular, so I actually didn't end up going with the popular thing. So all that to say, go with what you like. And that's the advice that a lot of people had given me. They were like, who cares if everyone on social media has an oval or now a pear or whatever it is? You're the one that has to look at it every day. You're the one that has a husband making this investment, and it's your ring, so get what you want. And I knew I wanted oval, so I said to Sean, I want oval with gold. I only wear gold jewelry mostly. And I said, whatever you want to do with it, that's up to you. If you want to do a halo, no halo. If you want cathedral, if you want no cathedral. If you want a thick band or a thin band, if you want diamonds on the band or diamonds without, because you could always change the setting. And I knew that his taste was pretty great for the most part, because whenever I would show him rings that I liked on Pinterest or Instagram, I would always be like, do you like this one or this one? And he always chose the one that I liked more, the one with like the smaller prongs, the daintier setting. So I knew that I just trusted his taste and style. And I just said I want an oval. And he went to a family jeweler that I guess his parents had a connection with. And when he was going to F45 to work out in California, he was like leaving earlier, and I just thought he was being a punctual king, but he was FaceTiming the jeweler before the gym, which is like so cute. And she was like constantly sending him pictures, and they were talking and whatever. So he got the ring. He spoke to my dad, and my mom and my grandma were actually there, and my grandma's 97, so it was really special to me that she was able to be there for that conversation, because I don't know how much more of my life she'll be able to be there for. And not to be depressed, but like I love her so much, and like that just like meant so much to me. And he told my sister before, and I think everyone was just kind of like waiting on it at that point. They knew that we were moving in together and that we were making this commitment to like live life together, and it was just like the next step for us. I'm just so excited. Like I don't quite feel like a bride yet, but I feel like a wife, if that makes sense. Like I feel like Sean's wife and his partner, and the other like gimmicky stuff I don't feel like, maybe because I haven't tried on dresses yet or done like a bachelorette party. I don't feel like this like lady in white who's wearing a veil, but I will get there. And yeah, it's just been such an exciting time, and I'm over the moon. Like it was really, really special, and I'm so glad that we kept it very much us. And we announced it very casually, and I took time to talk about it all, and it just feels really sacred and special. And I'm really excited to continue sharing a lot of this bridal journey with you guys. And yeah, I wanted to give you the story, so that's that. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube, because if you miss the pod, I'm vlogging a lot more. So this is where you will get our little catch-ups. Love you guys.